Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. For today, I will share with you guys on how to crochet this Christmas themed checkered sling bucket bag. So you would need 3 different colored yarns, and I'm using red, green and brown in this video. Please feel free to adjust to whatever color combination you would like to have. And then you would also need scissors and the crochet hook. We would first start making the base of the bag. So for the base of the bag, I would use a red yarn, and we would start with a magic ring. You would then do a chain 1 and do 9 half double crochet into the magic ring. After you are done with 9 half double crochet, you would tighten the magic ring, and we would do a slip stitch to the very first stitch to complete the first round. For round 2, you would start with a chain 1 and do 2 half double crochet into the very first stitch. Continue to do 2 half double crochet for the rest of the stitches, and so in total you would have 18 half double crochet for the second round. To end round 2, do a slip stitch to the very first stitch, and we are done with the second round. For the third round, you would do a chain 1 and then do 1 half double crochet to the first stitch, and to the second stitch you would do 2 half double crochet. To the next stitch, you would do 1 half double crochet, and then to the following stitch again you would do another 2 half double crochet. And so you would repeat the pattern of 1, 2, 1, 2 half double crochet, and in total you would have 27 half double crochet for the third round. To end round 3, do a slip stitch to the very first stitch. For round 4, do a chain 1 and then do 1 half double crochet to the first stitch, and then 1 half double crochet to the next stitch, and then do 2 half double crochet to the third stitch. So the pattern for the round 4 would be 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. And so in total, you would have 36 half double crochet for the fourth round. To end round 4, do a slip stitch to the very first stitch, and then we are done with round 4. For the subsequent rounds, it would be pretty similar. You would need to increase the number of half double crochet as shown here. And so for example, in round 5, you would do 1 half double crochet to the first 3 stitches, and this is followed by 2 half double crochet, and you would repeat that pattern for 9 times. In round 6, you would increase the number of half double crochet to 4 stitches before doing 2 half double crochet. And so follow this pattern and remember to start each round with chain 1 and then each round with a slip stitch. I will meet you guys once you are done with round 10. After making the base of the bag, we would now do the side of the bag and we would start with a chain 2. And from now, we would be working on the back loop only, and so we would do a 1 double crochet to the first stitch, and remember to do so only to the back loop. And then you would do another double crochet to the second stitch, working through the back loop only. And then you would do a third double crochet to the third stitch, to the back loop only. And so we would then do a chain 3, and then we would skip 3 stitches and work to the 4th stitch, and we would do 1 double crochet to that 4th stitch. So skipping over 3 stitches, we would start with the double crochet, and then this is the second double crochet to the second stitch, and then the third double crochet to the third stitch. And then we would do a chain 3 and continue to repeat the pattern. So we would do 3 double crochet and then chain 3, skip 3 stitches and work through 3 double crochet again, and so continue to do so. And remember that for the first row, we would be working only at the back loop of the stitches. So throughout row 1, continue to repeat this pattern of 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet, and then followed by another chain 3 and repeat the pattern. I will meet you guys towards the end of row 1. So for row 1, I'm ending with the chain 3, and now I'm going to do a slip stitch to the very first stitch that we did. But as I do the slip stitch, I would change to another color, and over here I'm using brown, so I would use the brown yarn to complete the slip stitch and to end row 1. And then I would tie the brown yarn with the red yarn, making sure that it doesn't come loose. So I would tie the shorter end of the brown yarn with the red yarn. So I would now work with the brown yarn for the second row. And so I would first start with a chain 1, and then I would do another chain 3. This would allow me to pass by the 3 double crochet. So I do a chain 3, and then I'm going to work at the back loop stitches of the base as shown here. So I'm going to do 1 double crochet, and then I would do another double crochet to the next stitch, and then I would have another double crochet to the third stitch. Remember to work at the back loop only. So in total I would have a group of 3 double crochet, and then I would do another chain 3, and then I would do another group of 3 double crochet to the very base at the back loop only. So continue to repeat this pattern throughout the second row. So for row 2, I would be ending with the group of 3 double crochet, and after forming the last group of 3 double crochet, I would be doing a slip stitch to the very first chain. And while I do the slip stitch, I would change color, and I would change it to green color. So to complete the slip stitch, I would use green color. I would then tie the shorter end of the green yarn with the brown yarn so that the green yarn doesn't come loose. So for row 3 onwards, we would no longer work on back loop stitches, but instead we would work normally. So we would start with a chain 2, and then we would do 1 double crochet to the first stitch as shown. So you would ignore that chain 3 of the brown color yarn. So you do 1 double crochet and then a second double crochet and then the third double crochet. And so you wouldn't be able to see the chain 3 of the brown yarn. And then we would do a chain 3, and then we would do another group of 3 double crochet. So remember that whenever we are doing the group of 3 double crochet, we are ignoring that chain 3 that is formed by the brown yarn. Instead, we would do the double crochet to the red stitches. And then you would do another chain 3. And so basically for row 3, you would repeat the pattern of 3 double crochet chain 3, 3 double crochet chain 3, and so on and so forth until you reach the end of the row. I will meet you guys towards the end of row 3. So for row 3, I end with a chain 3, and then I'm going to do a slip stitch to complete row 3, and in the process, I would change color. And so I would take the red yarn from the yarn that we used earlier on. And so for row 4, we are going to start with a chain 1 and then add another 3 chains. So add another chain 3 and then do a group of 3 double crochet as shown. And then you would do another chain 3, and then you would do another group of 3 double crochet. So continue to repeat this pattern throughout row 4, and I'll meet you guys towards the end of row 4. So for row 4, we would be ending with the group of 3 double crochet, and then you would do a slip stitch to the very first chain. And as you do the slip stitch, you would change color, and I would change the color to the brown colored yarn. So I would use the brown colored yarn to complete the slip stitch. And then for row 5, I would start with a chain 2, and then I would do the group of 3 double crochet. And so for row 5, it would be basically just a repetition of row 3. So for row 5 onwards, we would be repeating the steps of row 3 and 4. as shown in this pattern here. So continue to repeat the pattern of row 3 and 4, row 3 and 4, and so on and so forth until you reach row 22. And for the color pattern, I would do red, brown, green, and so on and so forth. So to complete row 22, I would do a slip stitch and change to brown colored yarn. And then I would do a chain 2, and I would do the group of 3 double crochet. And then I would do 1 single crochet to the next 3 stitches to the stitches of the red colored yarn. And then this is followed by 1 double crochet to the next 3 stitches to the green yarn. And then I would again do another 1 single crochet to the next 3 stitches to the red yarn. So continue to repeat the same pattern throughout for row 23. To complete row 23, I would do a slip stitch to the very first stitch. And then I would do a chain 2 to do row 24. And to each stitch, I would do 1 double crochet. So continue to do so for the entire of row 24. And I'll meet you guys towards the end of row 24. So we would end row 24 with a slip stitch, and then for row 25 do a chain 2, and then do 1 double crochet to the next 10 stitches. After you are done with the 10 double crochet, you would do a chain 5, and then you would skip the next 5 stitches, and to the stitch number 6, you would do 1 double crochet. And then continue to do 1 double crochet to the next 14 stitches. So in total, you should have a group of 15 double crochet. After you are done with making the 15 double crochet, you would do a chain 5, and then I would skip the next 5 stitches, and to the stitch number 6, I would do 1 double crochet. And then I would further do 1 double crochet to the next 9 stitches, and so in total you would have 10 double crochet. After doing 10 double crochet, do chain 5, and then skip the next 5 stitches, and to the stitch number 6, do a double crochet. And then I would do 1 double crochet to the next 8 stitches. So in total, you would have a group of 9 double crochet. After doing 9 double crochet, do a chain 5, and then skip the next 5 stitches, and then do a double crochet to the stitch number 6, and then do an additional 1 double crochet to the next 7 stitches. So in total you should have a group of 8 double crochet. After we are done with the 8 double crochet, do a chain 5, skip the next 5 stitches, and to the stitch number 6, do 1 double crochet, and then to the next 8 stitches, I would do 1 double crochet each. And so for this one, in total you should have 9 double crochet group. When you're done with the 9 double crochet, do a chain 5, and then you would do a slip stitch to the very first stitch, and this would allow us to complete row 25. So with the completion of row 25, we are done with making the holes where we would insert the string for the drawstring bag later on. And now for row 26, I would start with a chain 1, and then I would do 1 half double crochet to each stitch throughout the entire row 26. So as shown here, I would also do the 1 half double crochet to the chain. So I will meet you guys towards the end of row 26. End row 26 with a slip stitch, and then do a chain 1, cut the yarn and pull the yarn through, and you're done with row 26. And then you can weave in the remaining bits of yarn. Now we are going to make the hole for the handle of the bag. So go to the side of the bag. So the side is where we start our rows, basically where we make our chains and where we did the slip stitch. So we would take a slip knot, and then we would do a single crochet to the 3rd stitch from the side. So we have the side, and to the 3rd stitch to the right, we are going to do a single crochet. And then do a chain 4. And skip 4 stitches. And then to the 5th stitch, you're going to do 1 single crochet. And then continue to do 1 single crochet to the next 40 stitches. So in total, you should have 41 single crochet. Once you're done with the 41 single crochet, do a chain 4, and then skip the next 4 stitches, and then to the 5th stitch, do a single crochet, and continue to do a single crochet to the rest of the stitches. And then to end this row, we are going to do a slip stitch to the very first stitch. And then we are going to do a chain 1 and do 1 half double crochet to each of the stitches. And you would also do so for the chain. So as shown here, we are going to do 1 half double crochet to the chain itself. And so continue to do 1 half double crochet to each stitch. And once you're done with doing so, we are going to end this round with a slip stitch to the very first stitch. And chain 1 and cut the yarn and pull the yarn through. After that, you can weave in the yarn and we are done with the main body of the bag. So next, you would need to make 2 cords. One cord is for the string of the drawstring bag, another cord is for the handle of the bag. There is a separate video on how to crochet a cord and I will put the link in the description box below. Remember that for this bag, we are going to use 2 yarns to make the cord instead of 1 yarn. So now I would take the cord and put it through the holes to make the string of the drawstring bag. So you would want to insert it from the front of the bag itself. So how can we determine the front of the bag is that, as you can see here, this is the side of the bag where we started each row and where we did chains and slip stitches. And so this hole here is the front. And then I'm going to insert the cord in an alternate manner, in and out as shown here. Do not insert to this hole because that is for the handle. Insert correctly to the horizontal holes, and so in total there should be 6 holes for you to insert the cord through. Make sure that the cord is fitted correctly into the holes and that they are balanced. Next, you would form knots at the end of the cords. Now, I would show you guys on how to join the 2 ends of the cords together. So we would need to make a rectangle piece, and we would start with a slip knot. And then we are going to do a chain 6. And then do a single crochet to the second chain from the hook. And then continue to do single crochet down the row. So in total, you should have 5 single crochet. And then chain 1, turn your work around and do another 5 single crochet. And then chain 1, and then turn your work and do 5 single crochet. So continue to repeat these steps until you reach row 18. Once you're done, do a chain 1, cut the yarn and pull the yarn through. Make sure that the yarn is long enough because we are going to do some sewing later on. Now we would take this rectangle piece and put it around the cords. So as shown here, I'm going to wrap this rectangle piece around the cords. So I will wrap it like an S shape around the cord itself. And then we are going to join the center of this rectangle piece And we are going to do so by sewing it together. To make it firmer, I would sew to the opposite direction also. Make sure that it can easily slide through the cord. And then to the yarn, you would need to form knots so that it doesn't come loose. Form the knots several times. And then weave in all the rest of the yarn into the rectangle piece. And then you can cut the yarn once you're done with weaving in the yarn. So now we would take the longer cord and we are going to put it at the sides of the bag. So put this cord through the hole here at the side. And then take the other side of the cord and put it through the other hole on the other side. So this allows us to make the handle of the bag. And so with that, we are done with this bag. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you guys enjoyed it, please remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time.